Hi guys, it's Nisha. Welcome back to my channel. Before I get started, can I just say that the vibes today are right? Look how beautiful our scenery is today. So I have a message. Okay. Hopefully you can hear me okay. So, and if you hear the panting in the background, as always, I have my dog in the back seat. We just came from our walk. Okay, so today's message, the guides want us to acknowledge that no timeline is set in stone, okay? And something, unfortunately, that is happening as a result of this great awakening, which the great awakening is an amazing, incredible thing that is happening, where people are becoming consciously awoken and aware of what is going on in their reality. However, what is going on very significantly, and especially like in the TikTok communities, even on YouTube, but I'm really more so seeing this in the TikTok communities, and it is the fear mongering. The fear mongering about what's to come in the end of the year, what's to come when they roll out more things. Like, we already know the dark elites agenda is to gain control through mandation of things. You know what they're trying to do, right? So the thing is, though, when we are all collectively talking about this is going to happen, so you guys need to all prep your food, and this is going to happen, 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 like projecting the worst case scenario, and everyone is just eating it up and then repurposing the same information, resharing the same information about the end of times, the apocalypse, store up on your food, everything's going to collapse, we're all going to struggle, everyone's going to whatever, you know what I mean? And I know the intention of their content is not to fearmonger, but my guides are just reminding us that we don't have to choose that timeline, okay? We get to choose the highest possible timeline. So by being fixated on the worst case scenario, we collectively are attracting ourselves to the worst case scenario. The reason why all the negative things that are happening, honestly and truly, and I just got this download, the pandemic could have been stopped as soon as it started. If more people were consciously aware of the fact that they are creating their reality, the pandemic could have stopped as soon as it started. As soon as people started talking about masks are mandatory and passports and all of these things, if enough people were consciously aware, we could have cut the crap as soon as it started. Okay? And the guides want us to know that is how strong our power is. That is how strong our power is to attract the desired outcome that we want in our lifetime. But if, unfortunately, we kind of get excited about all the crazy, horrible, like in a cynical way. We enjoy making TikTok videos about how the world is going to collapse and that everything is going to end and that everyone needs to stock up on the food. Like the people who have stocked up on all their food and seeds and have their own farm, they love telling people that the world is going to come to an end and you're going to need your food, blah blah blah. Now I understand, like, some people just want you to be prepared, and I think that is amazing, but I don't think enough people are spreading the message that we are in control of this. We are creating this by spreading the narrative that horrible things are going to happen to the collective, whether it is necessary for the deconstruction of the old world to crumble. Yes, that is going to happen regardless if it happens in the worst way possible or in the best way possible. The old systems are collapsing, okay? Whether we have to go down the divergent timelines of vax camps and FEMA camps, or whether we have to go down the timeline of heaven on earth and everybody receiving personal sovereignty and all that other good stuff, right? So long story short, understand that when you're consuming all this content about the end times, the end is near, prep up on your food, do this, do that, understand that by participating in that narrative, by sharing that narrative, by participating in that narrative, though we like to say that we're woke because we are aware of something that's going to happen before it even happens, again, that's our ego wanting to be like, see, I told you this was going to happen, why didn't you listen to me? I told you, know what I mean? Instead of being like, what can we do to end up on the highest possible timeline? What can we do so that we don't have to be protesting in the streets? What do we do so that we don't end up on the timeline where FEMA camps are a thing, or vax passports are a thing? Like, we think that this is all too late, but we still have the power to turn all of this around. So we kind of are surrendering our powers to the dark forces that are allowing all these things to happen in our reality, by saying we're going to prepare for it, instead of saying energetically we are not going to stand for it. Okay? See, there's a difference in the creation of your reality, the creation of the collective reality. Again, so many people, it's easier to give your power away. It's easier to say, well, this is what's going to happen and there's nothing we can do about it. That is easy. That is a cop-out. That is you being too lazy to want to make a difference. That is you, again, giving up. Now, again, if you give up on yourself on a personal level, you cannot aid the collective. There is nothing that you can offer the collective. You cannot offer your vibrational resonance to the collective if you have already chosen defeat. Okay? So on a personal level, everyone who says, well, this is just how it's going to have to be, this is just what it is, this is just what we're living through, they are not stepping into their power. Again, because I am under the perception that if you personally choose heaven on earth, this is the salvation that Jesus was talking about, securing the kingdom of heaven that is within. Okay, you must personally choose heaven on earth and radiate the frequency of heaven on earth from yourself, projecting it outward. You cannot receive heaven on earth from the outside and then say, I'll feel better within when I see it without. It will never be created without if you do not first create it within. Okay? So as many people as possible on a personal and individual level has to receive the gift of heaven on earth, or receive the gift of creating the kingdom of heaven within, so that we can create the projection without. If there is no kingdom of heaven within, there cannot be a kingdom of heaven without. Do you not understand this? So if we do not accept righteousness for ourselves on a personal level, even with what is going on in our society right now, if they say, we're taking away your jobs, we're taking away your communities, we're taking away your ability to do X, Y, and Z, you can say, okay, I see that that's what the government wants to do. Hey, you guys, on an individual level, what do we want to do, right? Do we want to create a farmer's market so our community can keep eating? Do we want to create community and fellowship so that we can come together collectively and create solutions? There are no problems with no solutions. Every problem that has been posed on the planet, there is a solution, and not only just one. There's an infinite amount of solutions. Do you guys not understand? As soon as a problem is created, a million solutions are given, but the problem is we are allowing people who are of low dimensional consciousness and low dimensional frequencies to create solutions that are at a lower timeline, that have lower timeline outcomes based on the solution that they're posing. Remember, there are a million different solutions. So again, if they created COVID, if they created the pandemic, right, and they created the problem so that they could save us with the solution, which is understand that there are a million plus other solutions besides just that solution. The problem is the fact that they're trying to force this solution, say this is the only solution. That is how you know that is demonic possession. Okay? And everyone who is participating saying you are harming your community because you do not accept this one solution, that is demonic possession. Those people are demonically possessed. Okay? Anyone who is trying to force the willpower of other people, they are demonically oppressed. They are demonically possessed and oppressed. They are oppressed by the demonic entity, and they are suppressed. Okay? So understand exactly what is happening. Understand what is happening, but understand we get to choose the timeline. We don't have to exist on this timeline. We don't have to exist on the timeline where everything completely just erupts in the worst possible way. Now, this is not to say that things are not going to be dismantled, okay? Again, Mother Gaia, the energies of the cosmos, is it's her job to put things back into alignment. So if things have become out of alignment, it is Mother Gaia's job to put things back into alignment. So yeah, we might see a dismantling of the government. We might see the dismantling of the financial system. We might see a dismantling of the political systems, the healthcare systems, all that. Why? Because it has already been demonically possessed. Okay? It's not for our highest and greatest good, and that is why it is going to be dismantled. And I said this in another video, but I'm going to say it again here too. Okay? It is the dark feminine energy that is coming back to our planet now to restore harmony. Okay? There is nothing wrong with that masculine energy of the sun, of the light. The problem is the masculine energy, the light, is now a false light, meaning that the masculine energy, and I'm not talking about men, okay? Masculine and feminine exists outside the human bodies. It exists outside it. Okay, it's not about masculine, or it's not about man or woman. It's not about penis or vagina when I'm talking about this, okay? The masculine energy that is present on our physical plane right now is a false light, and that is why so many evil things are happening, right? And it's happening in plain sight, because again, the masculine energy is the light, is the sun, but again, it's a false light, meaning that all of the people that are in charge, the Pope, false light, the churches, false light, religious systems and structures, false light, the government system, false light radiating to look real, to look positive, but it's false, right? So that is why the dark feminine energy is coming back onto the world stage to collapse all of this chaotic energy that is going on the planet. See everything that's happening right now, what's going on in Afghanistan, what's going on in the US, what's going on in Australia. Understand that this is, and again, when they start talking about like the geostorms and the storms that are going to start rolling out on the planet and all of that stuff, again, it's a timeline that we choose, but understand, if that were to happen, that is the dark feminine energy, Mother Gaia dark energy, playing out on the world stage to put the false light masculine energy back in check. And once the dark feminine energy is done restoring balance, once we go back to new earth, once we enter new earth and things are back in balance and we can begin to rebuild again as humans, that is when the feminine dark energy is going to give the light back, or give the stage back to the masculine energy, but not until it is the true light, the true masculine energy. Because again, right now, it's not even the toxic masculinity, it is just the dark aspect, the false light aspect, the false light impulse, the antichrist consciousness that is coming out, and it is a masculine energy, a masculine false light energy that has caused the corruption of the planet. Again, that is why the dark feminine energy is returning to restore balance, and once balance is restored, she will give the stage back to the masculine energy, because the feminine energy understands its place. The feminine energy is the dark matter that is holding everything in place, and the masculine energy is the white light projection that is meant to be progressive and get things done and create the systems, create the structures, create the community. Okay? But again, right now, the masculine energy has been hijacked. It's false light. It is not the true light, okay? And that is why there's always this talk about the Son of God, the Son, the Son, the Son, right? Because they understand they have been using false light to control people. You trying to say it's Jesus's light, right? Right? No, that's false light. That is false light. They're trying to use to control people. That's okay though, because that feminine energy is coming back, okay? She's coming back, and she's like, this is all fucked up, and I'm gonna fix all of this. And if I have to wipe out the lower dimensional people to do it, then so be it. But this is all effed up, and I'm gonna fix this. That is what Mother Gaia is saying. That is what that feminine energy that is coming back, that Lilith energy, that dark, angry, chaotic, feminine energy is like, this is a hot mess, and I'm about to fix this. Okay, so Yeah, that is my message today. Moral of the story. We get to choose the timelines that we exist on. Even if you only allow yourself to choose it on a personal level, that is enough. To say, I refuse to exist in a place of war. I refuse to exist in a place of fear on a personal level. It doesn't matter what is going on outside of my door, outside of my house, outside of my temple, my body. I choose sovereignty. I choose highest possible timeline, highest possible outcome. You must personally choose heaven on earth to radiate and to see the projections outside of you change. Again, this is what they're talking about, how they're talking about this is going to be the split. It's not just the split of consciousness, it's the split. Those who choose to live in fear, in turmoil, and be sheeple to the system, they're going to be living an experience created by the false light. And those of us who decide to take our power back, to step into sovereignty, to continue to raise our consciousness, to continue to allow the sun, the light to evolve our DNA and evolve our consciousness as the human collective is meant to do, we will be on a completely different timeline. So some of us will be living on heaven on earth, and some of us will be living on hell on earth. But it's a personal choice. So for those of you guys who are waiting for things outside of you to change, or just saying, well, it's just going to be what it's going to be, and we're going to just see, okay, understand you're choosing hell on earth. If you say, I'm okay, I'm going to live through this, I'm going to be okay through this, and I'm going to continue to ascend and raise up in vibration and consciousness and let love guide me and not fear, you will be on the other timeline of heaven on earth. Okay, this is the split that we're talking about. And just so you know, okay, a little spoiler alert for those of you guys who choose hell on earth, it will become so miserable, so tight, that people will be dropping like flies in that paradigm. Okay? There is a target on people's backs who decide to live in hell on earth. Your vibrational frequency is not high enough to take you to the next level of what is going to be happening here on reality. The dark mother energy is not going to let people who are holding a low vibration continue to dwell on her planet, because she is upgrading. What does she look like upgrading and ascending with dark entities running all over her? She's like, no, I'm good. We can bump that, right? It's like natural selection. Those who have the best genes will evolve. Where right now, those who are rising in consciousness, they can keep up with the evolution of the planet. That biologically, evolutionarily speaking, is the survival of the fittest. Those people who are living in fear and chaos and panic and giving themselves anxiety and panic attacks over what is happening, vibrationally, they will not be able to exist on earth. As her vibration and frequency is rising, their vibration will be too dense. Okay, it's like not getting proper oxygen. It's too dense. You will not make it. And that is the significance of raising, rising, evolving with Mother Gaia, rising with the collective, rising with the consciousness of the planet. Okay? You don't have to choose the lower case scenario. And for those of you guys who love to binge watch TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, understand you are consuming a lot of fear mongering. And just because we say, oh, Project Bluebeam is a thing, oh, the aliens are coming out, oh, this, oh, that, oh, this, or that, I believe in all of it. I do. Is it the highest possible timeline? Focus on the highest possible timeline. That is the message. I love you guys. Bye.